6:12 here on the East Coast. Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. I'm Gina Francine. We do want to follow the very latest of the Trump presidency this Tuesday morning. It takes us out to the White House following this compelling shot. If you were tuned into Live Now from Fox, you saw it live, raw, and uninterrupted as we were following those talks with President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. And speaking of Ukraine, I want to transition to give you a live look out in Independence Square, Kyiv, Ukraine, bright and early this Tuesday. This as Ukraine and Russia may be inching their way toward a peace deal. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy and Russian President Vladimir Putin could soon meet to discuss terms to end the war. As Fox News correspondent Doug Luzeta reports from Washington this morning, that follows an extraordinary meeting at the White House yesterday.
The idea here is to have a bilateral meeting between Zelenskyy and Putin, followed by a trilateral meeting, including President Trump. That's if this process goes as planned. It's difficult to think of another gathering like this at the White House. President Trump playing host to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy and 7 other European leaders, all focused on a peace deal for Ukraine.
In a certain period of time, not very far from now, a week or 2 weeks, we're going to know whether or not we're going to solve this, or is this horrible fighting going to continue?
This was a follow-up to last week's Trump-Putin meeting in Alaska. And what's emerging now is a deal that would likely require Ukraine to cede some land to Russia. In exchange, Ukraine would get a commitment of protection from the U.S. and European allies. But much will hinge on what happens next. A meeting between Putin and Zelenskyy, followed by a trilateral meeting with Trump.
We just confirmed after this productive meeting with the president and then with all our colleagues, with the partners, we confirmed that we are ready for a trilateral meeting.
Russia, though, will likely bristle at the idea of NATO-like protections for Ukraine. And former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev took a shot at Zelenskyy, who had just joked with the president over his decision to dress more formally for this White House meeting. Medvedev wrote on X, "The question is which tune the Kyiv clown will play about guarantees and territories back home once he's put on his green military uniform again." But President Trump says he spoke to Putin and began to arrange for the next step, face-to-face meetings with Zelenskyy. In Washington, Doug Luzeta, Fox News.
All right, Doug, thank you so much for that detailed report. Wanting to share some of the many live looks we are getting this Tuesday. Again, a live look out in Independence Square as we are following the very latest with the U.S. and Ukraine. Independence Square, if you didn't know, is in Kyiv, Ukraine. We're also following the very latest out in Russia this morning, what that response looks like, giving you a live look out in Moscow, Russia, courtesy of EarthCam. We do have some statements to share with you, getting back to the latest with the U.S. and Ukraine. Take a look at your screen. The latest from the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. He put this on X this Tuesday morning. He says, quote, "Yesterday, important talks took place in Washington with the President of the United States and European leaders. This was truly a significant step toward ending the war and ensuring the security of Ukraine and our people. We are already working on the concrete content of the security guarantees." He goes on to say, quote, "Today we continue coordination at the level of leaders. There will be discussions and we are preparing the relevant formats. We will also continue working tomorrow. National security advisors are also in constant contact now. There will be security guarantees. I thank all our partners for their determination and support. Ukraine feels this strength and we will do everything to make the path to peace a reality through partnership, through security guarantees, and through the courage of the Ukrainian people." So again, that was the very latest from the Ukrainian president there. The latest from the European Commission president on your screen, Ursula von der Leyen. She says, quote, "We are here as allies and friends for peace in Ukraine and in Europe. This is an important moment as we continue to work on strong security guarantees for Ukraine and a lasting and durable peace." More statements coming in. The latest from UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. You see him in that photo there alongside the Ukrainian President Zelenskyy. He says, quote, "Ukraine's future matters to us all," end quote. And we know the UK has been at the forefront